Here we are in Wimbledon, the final day, just a few minutes after Novak Djokovic won his 7th Wimbledon, and I'm here with Steve Flink, my old friend, colleague and Hall of Famer. Did you expect that as I was expecting? First set to Kyrgios, the last 3 sets to Djokovic.
The only thing I was expecting 3 or 4 sets, but not coming from a set down again. So you were spot on with that prediction. But of course, that's what he did in the last 3 rounds. 2 sets down against Sinner in the quarters, wins in 5, a set down against Norrie in the semis, wins in 4, and that's exactly what he did today to beat Nick Kyrgios in tiebreaker in the 4th set.
Okay, and Djokovic has lost 6 sets in the tournament. Normally he wins easier than that, but it's true that what you just said, at the end he was never in doubt.
No, exactly. The only match that you could say that you thought he was in deep trouble was the Sinner match because he was down 2 sets to love.
Of course.
On the other hand, the last 3 sets he lost 7 games. He was really dominant across those sets. So even then, once he came back, you felt like he had control of the match again.
Sure. And so now he has won 7 slams like Pete Sampras that you may know. No, haven't you written a book about Pete Sampras? Do you want to remind us?
I'll remind you because that's what the book is. Pete Sampras' Greatness Revisited, which is a look back on Pete's career where I talked not only to Pete but to many prominent players in the sport, including Novak Djokovic, who gave Pete his loftiest praise. He holds him in the highest regard. So that was, he'll be delighted to be on level turf with Pete Sampras at Wimbledon with 7 titles.
Yes, because he said, he has told us many times that the first time he saw a tennis match, it was when he saw Pete Sampras winning in Wimbledon.
And he got the year wrong today, which funny enough, he did that when I interviewed him for the book too. He thinks in his mind that it was 92, it was really 93.
Of course.
And Novak was not 4 or 5, he was actually 6 by that point.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he confused that, and I corrected him when we did the interview for the book, and then he did it again today. He said when Pete won his first title in 92, well, 92 was Agassi.
Yeah, of course, winning 6-4 in the 5th versus Ivanisevic.
That's right.
Which is Djokovic's coach.
Yeah.
Anyway, one thing, when Sampras won 7 Wimbledon, we all thought that it was impossible to do better. Instead, Djokovic has done 7 Wimbledon, and Mr. Roger Federer has done 8.
And that, of course, will be the next target for Djokovic. He's now caught Pete Sampras. Next year, he'll be trying to catch Roger Federer, and I wouldn't put it past him. If it doesn't happen next year, maybe the year after. But I'd be surprised if he doesn't get at least 1 more Wimbledon before his career is over.
Yeah, and plus he is now 21 Slam winner, so only 1 less than Rafa Nadal, but he cannot play US Open. He has lost 2,000 points here. He will lose 1,200 points at the US Open. 3,200 points are a lot, and he is not sure to make the ATP finals.
It's an injustice, frankly, Ubaldo. He shouldn't be losing his points here. The US Open, it can't be helped. If he, as an unvaccinated player, can't compete, that's just how it goes. But here, he defended his 2,000 points, but he's not. None of the players are getting points this year because of the stance taken by the ATP, which I think was an incorrect one and a foolish one in the end, because they're just harming their own players, most notably Djokovic.
Yes, and harming also their rankings, which is what they should protect more than anything else.
But you heard today, Ubaldo, quickly, you just heard the reverence that Djokovic has for Wimbledon every time he speaks about it. Same with Nick Kyrgios. Same with all of the players. So to take their Wimbledon points away, to me, is ludicrous.
Listen, Steve, we haven't talked enough about this final, I think, because I mean, Kyrgios deserves a lot of credit, because not only he won the first set, but even when he lost the 3rd set because of that bad game that he played when he was up 40 love. Then in the 4th set he didn't surrender. He kept fighting like normally he is not used to do.
No, that was an excellent effort on Nick's part to regroup, because it was a deep disappointment to lose that service game from 40-love at the end of the third and then have Djokovic serve it out and go 2-1 up. It was also a disappointment to Kyrgios earlier when Djokovic was leading 5-3 in the second set but down love 40. And Djokovic won that game. So those were the two critical games of the match. The Djokovic hold from love 40 to close the second set, and then the Djokovic break on Kyrgios' serve at 4-all in the third after Nick led 40-love.
Listen, anyway, Kyrgios got a warning because that is a tradition for him, but also he made two successive twinner, one a passing shot and another a lob. So I mean, he's the world champion of the twinners, don't you think so?
Yeah.
And he's honestly a phenomenon. The only thing we don't understand is how it could be that from 2014 until today he was never able to produce his fantastic tennis.
That's the mystery. He's an enigma, Ubaldo. He always will be. But at least we saw over these 2 weeks a full commitment. Survived 2 5-set matches, 7-5 in the fifth in the first round. And so Nick deserves to be commended, and you're right, he did fight hard today, he did play a good fourth set today, and he should be proud of the performance he put on against Novak Djokovic.
Okay, well, listen, we saw anyway a beautiful tournament. Pity that Agassi had to retire, pity from my side that
Agassi.
Oh, did I say Agassi?
Yeah, you did.
Sorry, Nadal.
Yes,
sorry,
okay.
sorry. I don't know why I put up.
Well, you think of them in the same way. It's two great stars.
Yeah, sorry.
But you're right. It was a shame about Rafa, but it worked out in the end. Too bad that we couldn't see Nadal play Kyrgios, but Kyrgios represented himself beautifully in the final.
Yes. Okay. Listen, thanks a lot to all of you, and especially to my old friend, colleague, and Hall of Famer Steve Flink, whom I hope to see at the US Open to do again our little shows?
Our little shows, yeah. They're always fun in New York because that tournament has such a unique flavor and energy to it, and I think, not to be immodest, that we've done some of our best work in New York.
Okay, we'll try to compete. We'll try to compete with those. Thank you very much. Bye-bye from Wimbledon.